अभी लाइव एक बार चेक कर लो सारे
Yes,
all
I think.
right hello everyone and a warm welcome to MESC Red Devils NCR. This is Delvin and as always I have the OG gang with me. I have Abhijit Bhai, I have Saksham, and I have Ojas Bhai with me. So hello to all and I hope you all are doing well. uh, so it's Halloween today, and yesterday we were seconds away from getting a scare against the Hammers, but somehow we managed to get the 3 points. A hard fought win, but a win nevertheless. 3 important points in the context of how the season pans out. And the 3 points are even bigger considering that Chelsea dropped points yesterday against Brighton. So overall, very, very happy with the 3 points. So it's Marcus Rashford, the match winner for us, a milestone goal, and what a way to bring in your 25th birthday by arguably scoring one of the most important goals of our season so far. So there were a host of changes made in yesterday's game. Harry Maguire came in because Lindelof was ill, so Harry Maguire was a last minute addition to the side. In came Ronaldo for a start. Elanga was given a start. So the first half was once again we were the better of the half. We were the better of the two sides, creating chances. But until Rashford scored once again, it was a case of being frustrated because we were not able to take our chances. It's the same story as always. But then Rashford popped up, and then we were a little comfortable till the half ended. And then the second half, as the half progressed, West Ham grew into the game. The arrival of Mikhail Antonio made them a much more aggressive outfit because of Antonio's ability to keep running through a brick wall every now and then. And then again at the end it was hearts in the mouth stuff. We almost three different instances where we could have dropped 2 points, but thanks to Harry Maguire and David De Gea, our clean sheet was intact, and so was the 3 points. So, Ojas bhai, I'll start with you. What do you take away from the game yesterday? And what parts of the game did you like? And what are the parts of the game that you think still need improvement?
Yeah, actually, I enjoyed the game till the first half because I believe we were positive in our game and we were attacking very well. But somehow we were not clinical enough in these type of games where the opposition has quality on the bench. You have to be clinical because in last 10 minutes, as you said, we could have dropped the 2 points, or even we wouldn't even have 1 point if two of those have gone in. So I think rather than on the surviving on the basis of excellency by our defenders and keeper, we should be excellent through the entire 11 that we are putting on the pitch. I think we should have been clinical enough. And Eric Ten Hag, whatever he was planning to close down the game. But it was obvious to David Moyes, who is not new to management, that if you're taking out Elanga, Eriksson, and bringing in Fred and McTominay, you're going into a defensive setup. It was blatantly clear to Moyes that Ten Hag is trying to save game and trying to score a goal on counter if it's possible. These type of simple things have to be corrected, and I believe we should have scored more, or at least we should have gone for more goals, because in Premier League, everyone sitting in the stream is aware, in Premier League, in football, anything can happen in few minutes.
You are on mute.
Fair enough. Once again, our missed chances very coming very very close to haunting us, but so far, thankfully, nothing sort of harmed us. So coming on to another important aspect of the game, Maguire made his first start in the Premier League since Brentford, late August. All right. He started off rather circumspect. There were a couple of times where his old mistakes came back and tried to haunt him. Was the highest player in the defensive line. Two times Bowen and Skamaka easily bypassed him with those passes. Thankfully, nothing came out of them. But then, as the game grew, he got positive. he had a better game as the game grew on, and as the game progressed, he was a little more comfortable. And then towards the end, I mean, you can call his game, you can have an average game or so, but then he was one of the main reasons that our clean sheet was intact. Because had he not been there, Jared Bowen certainly equalizes there, and that would have been 1-1, and it would have been once again 2 points dropped. So, Sakshamba, I'll come to you. What did you make of Maguire's performance? Did you find his performance to be very good? Or did you feel his performance was solid but not spectacular? Or do you think that his performance was still not that good?
So I think that Maguire had a decent, I would say, a solid performance. In the preview, I said that I wouldn't start him over Lindelof because he doesn't give me that attacking gel going forward. But when he has a top quality CDM Casemiro in front of him, so Maguire I think is more comfortable on the ball. Like Casemiro drops and then he back three forms between Licha, Maguire, and Casemiro. So that kind of thing helps him with the ball because we all know that one major problem with Maguire was that he was not as good as holding the ball. So apart from that, there were some things that sometimes in the game that I found that his awareness was not up to the mark. Like he could have been, was leaving spaces, but like West Ham was not picking it up. But I think, but towards the end, Maguire, because of him, I think we were able to keep the clean sheet and even the win because he made some good tackles and good interceptions. So I think that in this new phase of defense, I see this defense as a new Ten Hag defense with Dalot emerging. Lisandro is there. Our very own David De Gea, he always performs. We will come to him later, I know here. So Luke Shaw is performing well. So if the entire defense is performing well, Maguire had a chance, and he was starting after August, so he had something to prove that no, I'm not done and dusted. I'm still the captain of Manchester United, and I'm still a high quality defender. So he showed his qualities, and I hope that it continues because what we need from Maguire and from the captain of Manchester United is consistency. So I hope he delivers this type of performance again and again. And if the entire defense is playing that good, I hope Maguire to shine and thrive under Ten Hag. And obviously, Casemiro played also a big factor that he's playing in front of him. So I hope that Maguire plays well in the next games as long as we have Varane out and Lindelof out. And I hope they would be back soon. We want competition at places. So it's good to see that finally, after all the hate and all this, that Maguire is picking up his boots and growing a little. And it's a long way to go still. Not like, oh, now Maguire is back. It's still a long way to go. But a decent performance for the lad. He deserves it.
Yeah, like you said, there's a long way to go, but at least this performance is a step in the right direction for Maguire as far as.
Delvin, I would like to add something there.
Yeah, go ahead, Antrish. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Right. Apologies for joining late, guys. First of all, right. So I just had to add. I mean, seeing Maguire play again, I absolutely agree with Saksham Bhai and you, Delvin Bhai, that he was pretty average. It was sort of a positive to see, our captain back on the pitch. But it's like, now I'm sort of getting this weird feeling with Maguire that it's like he's like a bike, and we're trying to expect four wheels on him. He as a player, I think he is just not suited to us. So I'll just take your comments, Delvin Bhai, and you very rightly and very perpetually pointed that he was found out as and when the game started. Just on the halfway line, he was our highest defender. And then Syed Benrahma was through when he was in, and Lisandro Martinez blocked his shot, I guess, in the second minute. What did the guy do? He started screaming at Dalot. The guy doesn't know. The Dalot is supposed to go forward. Benrahma is not his man. Dalot has been instructed to go forward, mate. It's your man who you need to cover. But in order for you to do that, you need to have some spatial awareness, first of all. You're not as quick as you think you are. The way you stand up on the halfway line and, try to play everyone offside when the entire team is behind you. And then he's going in on screaming and probably on our best, sort of most consistent player of the season, which is probably Dalot. So that was glimpse of what Maguire does to our defense as soon as he comes in. Saying all of this, he did play well in the second half. But then again, my point of him being a scooty or a bike comes in because he played well because we were under fucking pressure. I'm sorry for swearing because I just get very emotional, when we talk about Maguire, because he plays well, When we sit deep, he plays well when we are attacked. When Manchester United plays like Manchester United should, he always disappoints. His job is disappointing us when we play a high line, when we have possession. He could sort of give us good performances when we are under pressure, when we are being attacked, when his big 80 million head is being used to clear away balls and head it away. That is when
Antariksh,
he
one
sort of
more
kills
point
us.
adding to you, one more point just adding here. I that shouting at Dallos like came out like
Yeah,
a sore thumb in the entire performance, and that is the reason he should not be the captain of the team. He should not be the captain of Manchester United. He doesn't know how to lead because he is at fault. Like he has gaps in his game. He is a very good centre back in a back five with two defensive
exactly.
midfields supporting him. That's why he gets picked for England
Or
because
maybe
he
playing
has.
in a top 10 club, bro, wherein you have to sit deep for 70 minutes.
Exactly, exactly. So that is the reason I think he has gaps in his game, his gaps in his quality, and he should nowhere be captain of United. Right? See, I won't ever boo a United player, and I won't boo Maguire also. But I think the captain's armband is putting a lot of pressure on his 80 million head, and he should just leave it. He should just get done with it and focus on his own game and own improvement. Eric Ten Hag has shown that he can improve any player. So at least if he gets 20%, we get a 20% incremental better Maguire who can, he has to read the game. He's not an intelligent footballer. He has to read the game that when someone is trying to, get past you or when someone is playing a 1-2 and trying to get past you. Martinez is
Just one.
brilliant in reading the game. That is the reason,
Uh,
that is one point I think Maguire needs to come up.
I think one point I have to point out here that Antrik's criticism is right. I think because he's not accommodated to that system like inverted wing backs. So that's why he can't track back, or you cannot he can't when in first half, you if you have seen the game, he was so pressurized by the Skamaka and all the wingers.
Exactly.
Huh. So he's not, and also another factor is that he has played less games. I think last game he has played against was in September, I guess. So,
Absolutely,
huh.
Abhijit bhai, I agree with that. But we sort of see fundamental mistakes rather than form mistakes from him. Like we just see fundamental mistakes over and over again
Bang
from
on,
him.
Another,
bang
yeah,
on,
you can
absolutely bang
see
on,
over here.
absolutely bang on.
I'll play devil's advocate here. All right, Antriksh, like you so often
Yes,
the devil's advocate.
yes,
Maguire under Ten Hag is currently playing as a right-sided centre back. All right. Now this is an altogether different position for him. So the past 2 or 3 years, wherever he's played on the left side of defense, a position which currently Martinez is playing. And I don't think for love or money that Ten Hag is going to remove Martinez from there. It's a case of who's going to play with Martinez rather than who is going to play alongside the other centre half at this point in time. So the reason why there are these mistakes that are still there is because Maguire is still trying to get used to that position of the right-sided centre back. He's barely played there. All right, he's barely played as right centre back. He's getting used to it. Yes, those mistakes are still there, but then once again, you cannot deny the fact that he was the reason that we had 3 points yesterday. That block of Jared Bowen in added time, that's a certain goal if Maguire is not there, because there is no chance that David De Gea is reaching that. All right, Dalo is positioned way outside the goalpost. The only
absolutely.
person who was standing there is Harry Maguire, and after that, there was another clean tackle which Maguire put in before Declan Rice pulled the trigger.
Yeah, yeah,
That
sure,
tackle
yeah,
was an absolutely clean tackle. You cannot
yeah.
take anything away from the fact that that was those two important defensive actions and are the reason why we won the points. Apart from De Gea being De Gea as usual,
Absolutely.
another point that I'll put out is you said that when there is pressure on United, Harry Maguire's game shines through. Okay, yesterday Maguire was not the reason that United were under pressure in the second half. Okay, the team as a whole dropped in intensity, and West Ham became the much more aggressive side the moment Skamaka went out and Mikel Antonio came in. All right.
Yeah,
So you cannot blame Maguire for United coming under pressure because the whole team as a unit dropped intensity. You could see it because there were a lot of stray passes going on. We could not hold the ball. And for the first time in that entire game, the pressure was solely on United, and West Ham were playing in the United half for quite a lot of time. So I think you means the fact that he was good. If he was good in the second half, you cannot deny that. You cannot call him a Leicester player or a Hull player just because we are under pressure. This time he was not the reason why we were under pressure. And as I'm speaking, there are a lot of interactive comments going on. I'll read a few of them. Prakash Mondal says that Marcus Rashford, he's one of our own. Yes, absolutely. Amit Bhai saying Rashi proving me wrong. He's actually proving every one of us wrong. Not you alone, Amit Bhai, all of us. And for some of them, their trust on Rashford is finally paying rewards after a season where he was absolutely shot. His confidence absolutely shot to bits. Vishal Bhai says yesterday we had glimpses of that first half FC again, but we got 3 points. Yeah, fair enough. Good assumption. Kushagra saying Casemiro is showing his class now. Casemiro has been showing his class throughout the time he's come into the starting 11. Sachin Sharma, we need to score more goals. Yes, this is another important issue that has been plaguing us. We cannot depend on 1 or 2 goal cushion. I think for us, even a 2-0 score is a dangerous score because the way we are missing our chances. I think this is a problem that needs to be addressed at the training ground, or just dip into the market and buy a striker, short term, long term, whatever it is. Career Counselor says Maguire came back strong in the second half, saved a certain goal. Yes, like I rightly said, if he wasn't there, Bowen 99.9% of the time scores that. Nikhil Deja says Maguire was shaky, slowing down things in the first half. Yes, we all pointed that out. Grew comfortable once we ceded control and went deeper. Him and Licha as a partnership wanted to do similar things, which I have doubts long term. Oh, that's very interesting. Yes, exactly.
This is really well
So
pointed out.
yes, exactly. Because I think I read it somewhere in the Athletic that Maguire is a dog-like defender. His characteristics are more like a dog-like defender than a cat-like defender. So now that Lisandro Martinez is doing the exact same thing at left centre back that he used to do, he's not able to get the right balance. So I think that's understandable. He will mature, and as far as game sense is concerned, as time passes on. But then again, it's to be seen. Vishal says when we play like United, he becomes Leicester and Hull City player. Let's see. I think that's too soon to reserve judgment on. Pulkit says Maguire should be brought on later to defend against long balls when leading. Yes, this is one way to use
Agreed.
Maguire's
Yeah.
strengths to the fullest. Sadgi Goyal says
Okay,
Maguire as an option.
can I address this comment of Sadhgi?
Yeah. Yes. Sure.
So,
Sachin.
like that, Antriksh said that like he was screaming on dialogue. So I think that we all can agree that Maguire is not he's an average player. Like we are all on that like point. We all agree can that. But I think his positioning and his speed are the two things that lacks him the most. Like those two things, because of those two things, other qualities are shadowed. So, like Sadhgi said, that Maguire has an opportunity to be a solid CB accompanying Martinez, but like he is not that quick enough. He's not positionally aware that Varane is. Varane is not a very quick defender, but he's a smart defender, which Maguire isn't. So, like he was not in that positional space where he should be. When Rama went through, scream कर रहा है कि कोई बचा लो यार वरना मैं क्या करूं? So I think that is the two major aspects of Maguire's game, that is positioning and his speed, जिसकी वजह से मतलब वो उसकी बाकी qualities के वो drag down करता है. He like so these if Ten Hag can I don't know if he can improve his speed, but his positional awareness and his smartness in defense, if Ten Hag can work along with Maguire, so I think we will have a good enough player to be like one of our substitutes and.
No, this point is basically made with the knowledge of Daley Blind, because Daley Blind is not one of the fastest players at the back, and
But he's one
somehow
of the most intelligent.
somehow Ten Hag used him in a way that they were conceding very few goals. So I think Maguire, what happens is sometimes he doesn't realize he doesn't have speed. He sometimes he just blasts out of his own comfort zone
Yeah.
and suddenly realizes that I have to chase a player. This is like everyone is speaking on the stream, this is maturity. This is fundamentals of defense. I don't have speed, so I will use my strength. What is my strength? Aerial uh, duel. Okay, being a bully in front of the attackers. And Skamaka is a very good striker, but he's not the fastest. He's not the fastest. He's a very good striker. So you know which player was coming to you. There were Bowen, which was handled by Shaw, and there was Benrahma, which was handled mostly by Delo. But because of Delo's attacking contribution, he has to go forward. So I think Maguire needs to understand, and every player in the Manchester United needs to understand. You have to sometimes, when you're defending in a game like this, in a 1-0 game, where you know goals are not coming from your side, you have to play to your strengths. You took off Ericsson because he was the game builder. That is understandable. But you need someone to connect the game. That is, connect from defense to attack. Where is that player? There was no play on the pitch in the last 30 minutes. So that was, I think, the weak link, and that was where our defense realized that we have to just sit and control the game, and we saw Maguire playing well.
I think,
So
like
one
Ojas
point,
Bhai
one
says,
point.
Sandeep, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, one point I would like to say, if you remember the West Ham preview, I said that Maguire should start because we will need his aerial abilities at the end of the game when we are defending against them. Because they have very good headers like Socek, Antonio coming on, and I think another one was
Zuma.
Skamaka.
And Declan Rice was
Zuma when he was
everywhere.
there.
As usual, Declan Rice was
Zuma.
everywhere.
Zuma,
Yes,
and
yes.
I was one of the proponent of telling that yes, Maguire should be playing because we need his aerial ability because he's good at that. He is great at winning headers. He's not great at aiming them where they want, where he wants the ball to go, but he can win them. He can win the headers and clear them out. So that was very important aspect, which I think also Ten Hag, chose him for this match. And one more thing, as Delvin correctly pointed out, the whole team dropped in the second half. The whole team as
Yeah.
a whole stopped pressing as a, that I don't want to use that word, but Gegen pressing we had heard. So it was a Ten Hag ball of kind of pressing, which we did not do because I mean, come on, it's the third game in 8 days, and the same set of players are playing. And I think we were reserving our energy for a much more important Europa League match because Ten Hag wants a top spot. So I think we will see that same intensity come back and against Sociedad, and it will be an away game. It will be difficult for us, but I think we will be up to the challenge. But most important, we need to get 2 goals. We are short in
Yeah.
that department.
All right. Yeah. So now, Vishal Bhai puts a very interesting question. So yesterday, there was an incident that happened in the game. I think it was late in the second half. Martinez had the ball in his own half, and Skamaka, who was at that point already booked once, put his foot on Martinez's head, and somehow he did not get a second yellow. Now I seen that incident a lot of times after the game, and for me it should have been a second yellow. No matter there wasn't malice involved, no matter that he was not intending to go for the head, the fact still remains that it was a high boot, and as per the law, if it is a high boot, you are bound to get booked. Where is the second yellow? Where is the consistency? I mean, at this point, it's a losing battle to ask for Premier League referees to be consistent when they're giving out decisions in favor of our side. But then once again, where is the consistency? I mean, for all money, that seemed like a second yellow, and Skamaka was off. The fact that Skamaka wasn't off gave Moyes a chance to bring in Antonio, which indirectly changed the composition of the game. Avijit bhai, I'll ask this to you. Do you think that was a second yellow, or do you think that was not a yellow card offense?
on on the first note, when I saw that it was, I think it was in the backside. I saw it on backside. But as you rightly said, even if I saw in the different angle, yes, it was a high boot, and definitely it was a red card. Should have given it a red card, and and as you rightly said that it gave David Moyes a chance to change, have a substitution. That if you have given a second yellow and you should straightly sent off, then you definitely would have boosted our morale. They would be having 10 men, and uh, we can utilize that opportunity, and we can dominate it. We had a chance to dominate them. but it really poor refereeing from the PL referees. As expected, we can't expect any from them, and it was poor refereeing. I know even I don't see VR also
I don't think that
didn't.
was taken to. I don't think that was
Huh,
taken to
yeah,
VAR
VR also.
anyways.
Yes,
It was
they
not
all
taken
did.
to VAR. There was no VAR
Huh,
No,
they
check
because
as
didn't
well.
yellow,
interfere.
because
we
yellow
are
card.
we yeah we are only
Second,
takes into the
another one
consideration
tackle was there.
red
I think
card,
from
red card
backside.
rather.
Another one tackle was from Lisandro Martinez. I think from backside. It was I think on the backside of the thighs.
No, no, it
I
was
think thigh.
back of Bruno.
Bruno. That.
That was Craig Dawson. That was Craig
Yeah,
Dawson
Craig
on
Dawson,
the
back of Bruno.
He
Achilles.
was.
Yes,
Huh,
on the
the,
Achilles. Yes, yes.
yes. That
Even he
too
was
was
not booked. He was
that
not
even
booked.
was not.
He was
Yes.
not booked. Yes.
It was a
You know,
poor refereeing, I would
one
say.
more tackle was also there was Maguire on Benrahma, I think, or
I
Maguire
don't
on
think that
Bowen.
was no. That was not a foul. No, no, no. That wasn't a
Maguire
foul.
on Bowen. I think
Yes, yes.
like if it
The
was
one which
in
you
the
were
penalty, I think if it was in the penalty box, it might have been going to
you're
VAR.
talking about the one which happened
Late in the
outside the
game.
box, right?
Late in the game.
Yeah, in
Late
the
in the
second
game,
half.
it
In
just
the
happened
second half,
outside.
yeah. In the
Yeah.
second half, yeah.
No,
Yes.
no, that was not a foul, I guess. I
I
don't
don't
think
think
that
that
was
was
a
a
foul.
foul, and it was
I
not
think
given as well.
the
It was
only
not
reason the
given.
referee didn't give that a foul because Bowen could not have reached the ball anyway because he could have gone outside for playing
Bowen was
outside.
falling. Bowen was falling down anyways.
Yes, Bowen was
Actually,
He was
falling down.
looking for
Yeah,
contact.
actually, the Sandeep Bhai, what he's pointing out is these new rules. I don't want to be uh, strange about it, but these weak rules, these new rules say that if I'm coming from behind, you are an attacker, I'm coming from behind, and I dispossess you while tackling you in such a way that you also get unbalanced, there's a slight chance of receiving a free kick in that position.
exactly.
There's this
Yeah,
law, there's this law that you cannot attack me from the back. This is law, this happens in every game. Even if it's a clean tackle, I've seen it so many times. You just cannot charge from behind. But
Hmm.
what actually happened there was Bowen was running towards Shaw. He was facing towards Shaw,
he was
and they
kind
were
of past
completely
Maguire.
past Maguire, and that is why the referee didn't give it as a foul because Bowen was not covering or hiding, the ball, and it was a clean tackle through and through. That is why it was not given as a foul.
So
Otherwise,
all
these
one
fouls are being there.
only thing we ask from the referees is if you want to be lenient throughout the game. If you want to be strict throughout the game. That is the only thing, and like rally that to all the referees refereeing in the PL. And we like like we don't like many stoppages to the game. There should be some tackling and there should be some edge to the game that brings it makes it more beautiful.
No,
I feel.
this was passed a long time ago. This I remembered. I was attending that specific seminar where Premier League referees were discussing about this new law that you cannot charge a person from behind. That I can't even
Exactly.
Hmm.
if I am defending, I can't even come from behind even though my tackle is clean. Why? Because the attacker won't be sure of where I will be placing my foot, so it can be risky. So it's a foul. It's like it's a simple diluted rule. I don't know what has happened to it, but on adding to everyone's point on the second yellow card, I think it was a very very bad tackle. It was like the the nature of the tackle was enough for a second yellow card. The nature.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
it's not about the intent or anything.
Yes.
I know these
Correct.
things
Correct.
happens. I will take reference of Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Sometimes what happens when you're tall and slow, you try to reach ball with your feet, which are longer. You try to reach the ball with your feet, so that I can come. And Lisandro is fast compared to Skamaka. So with the intention of getting the ball, but your studs are up. They're not coming like this. They're going like this, and your intention is to either I will take the ball or the player. Either I will take the ball or the player. If the nature of the foot, whatever the tackle it was enough for a second yellow. I don't know about the straight red, but second yellow, yes.
No, it was a second yellow because he was already booked before. Skamaka was
Exactly.
already on a yellow at that point, and that definitely should have been a second yellow offense. If not, yeah. So for me, it was a second yellow offense, and he should have been sent out. But then it's the Premier League, and I think it's going to come to a point that one of our boys have to be murdered on the pitch for us to get a foul. It's coming up to that point because I mean, at this point, the decisions that we're not getting are absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I don't think any other team has suffered the same fate as us ever since the yellow tooth Scouse idiot spoke about us getting penalties, and ever since that we've not got decisions that we should have got. Mojo Sir says refereeing decisions today being dodgy or inconsistent is nothing new. He's been seeing this since '92, but now it's become a little more ever since more contact has been permitted since last season. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair enough. Uh, uh, so homeless guy says this is a rather interesting question from homeless guy. Can Harry Maguire do better without the armband and the added pressure that comes with it? I'll take this. I'll take this. He can do better than what he's doing now, but he's not going to be as great that what people expect him to be. Yes, obviously, the pressure of the armband means that there will be less spotlight on him because he's not the captain and he's not the leader of that side. But then, unless and until he doesn't iron out his own personal deficiencies, which come to haunt us, thankfully it did not. But then it comes to haunt him at times where he least expected, where we least expected. So he can do better, but you cannot put a lot of expectation on him at this point in time. Okay, so now let's go to, like Rohit Bhai says, just leave Maguire. You can't keep criticizing him for all the mistakes. Yeah, no, fair enough. Let's move on. Let's move on. So let's talk about David De Gea, man. Come on, we have to talk about him. Just a couple of days ago, while we were speaking about the West Ham preview, there was news that he was left out of the 55-man provisional squad from Spain. And goodness gracious, what a message he sent to Luis Enrique on the back of yesterday's performance. Uh, what a performance! I mean, he didn't have anything to do in the first half. He basically you could have given the man a book and he would have finished it in the first 45 minutes. That's how boring the first half was for him. But then second half, ever since Mikael Antonio came into the game, first he saved Mikael Antonio's shot, which was going in, which was dipping in. He left it out of the bar. Then there was an exceptional save from a header from the cat abuser, that's Kurt Zuma, where he sprung like a cat to get his head onto the ball. But David De Gea equal to the task with an outstanding save, and then the best for the last, that Declan Rice shot. Goodness gracious, I thought that was going in. I mean, good lord, that shot. Declan Rice could never have connected a ball that sweetly. The way he connected that ball, it was so sweetly struck. I mean, the moment it hit his boot. Even he thought like, yeah, dude, this is going in. This is 1-1. I've saved a point for my side. But no, it reminded me of the save that De Gea pulled off when Oviedo took a shot against us in the 14-15 season versus Everton at home itself. But what a save!
Coutinho also in one of
Exactly.
the
That was
seasons.
at Anfield against
Coutinho.
Liverpool. That was at Anfield against Liverpool. Yes,
Man.
but good lord, what a performance! What a performance! Antriksh, what do you have to say? Was how strong a message is that Luis Enrique based on that snub?
Oh, absolutely, man. Now, first of all, you guys just took it out. I mean, I was just gonna say that save, the two of my brothers have just mentioned. I mean, those two saves. It reminded me of that. Also reminded me of a third save. Not really, but the way he used his left hand was that when Juan Mata hit it on that free
Yeah,
kick. I remember
the
like
one
one
man
of
of free
his
kick. Yeah,
sort
yeah.
of one of his spotlight saves that he did of that free kick.
Mata is
I
still
mean,
angry about it.
yeah, I see. Yeah, he's not sort of forgotten about it. But yeah, I mean, what a message. And we really remember Saksham and, was really discussing, and he was so right. And, every one of us agree in unison that like his ball saving capacity, his shot saving is just out of the world. I mean, David De Gea on form can save an effing Titanic are the sort of famous words. So I mean, there's this. There are no doubts about that. But Luis Enrique seems to be on a beach in Ibiza wearing sunglasses when it comes to David De Gea. Like he smokes the cigars in the air. Like when we talk about De Gea, he can listen every bit of praise of De Gea here and then just reply by, "Can he play out at the back?" Like that. I think that would be his reply to everything that De Gea does. And to be honest, it's almost like Diaz has to sort of change from like 360 degrees. I mean, and he has been doing the way he has been. Credit where it's due. I guess yesterday also there was a time when he just rushed out of his line and cleared out the ball, like when he did. I think it was in the first half, if I'm not wrong.
I I
So
was I was finished looking. I was like, अब क्या
yeah,
goal है?
yeah, exactly, right.
Ben Rama.
But I
Yeah,
think that
exactly.
sweep was very important, that sweeping
Yeah,
action that he came, because I think
Yeah,
Benrama was through if he hadn't
yeah.
come. Yeah.
If you are
exactly.
against Maguire, yes, you are through.
Yes, you're
Otherwise,
through.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. So
So,
yeah,
so
overall
I mean,
that was brilliant.
to be to be fair to De Gea, like he has been doing what he has been doing and what he's been called for, and ETH praises him, and he's a good goalkeeper and all of that. So it'll be interesting to sort of see what sort of contract talks and contract situation that sort of arises with him, because short saving capacity, I think no United fan can ever doubt him. It's but we've seen with Ten Hag, greatest of the great players, if they don't fit his system, don't fit the bill for now, they have to sort of be sidelined. And will a keeper like David De Gea with 375k in his bank going every week would want to be sidelined? And his reputation would really take a hit if he doesn't make into the top 5 keepers of Spain. Market value does take a hit. It takes a jump and it takes a hit after the World Cup. So it would be really interesting to see. But as clear and loud a message could have been sent, he did it yesterday. Call answered whenever we did, and as you said, he could have been so bored in the first half, but he did what he had to do in the second half. So I mean, perfect.
You know,
Yeah.
just want to add point for Antriksh again. When that probable squad, came from Spain, the way Luis Enrique snubbed, David De Gea. I think David De Gea was in a zone where he wanted to give a befitting reply to Luis Enrique that what I am capable of and why I am a important player for United in a goalkeeping position. He literally showcased that why he's good in. I think someone has put it in the group that Unai Simon and a comparison of David De Gea in I think in this year only. I think he surpasses him in his all his stats. Everything, and that really DTG has really improved in his game ever since
Yes.
ETS has taken as a. If you see in the first half, the way Maguire and Martinez were little in pressure in first 15-20 minutes, DDG was not even not pressurized. He was calm and cool. He knew what type of sort of passes or what type of game he needs to be played when the pressure was coming. That really showcased that he has improving in his games, and he's showcasing his importance to ETH, and whatever manager has put on his responsibilities as a goalkeeping, he has really excelled in his in performance. So really praises goes for DDG, and he deserves that man of the match, I would say.
So Eric Ten Hag put a very interesting statement after in his pre-match presser when he was talking to the pundits, or I think it was after the match. So he said that playing out of the back, or being comfortable at the ball on his feet is a different thing, but the primary function of a goalkeeper is to protect his goal.
it was after
I
the
mean,
match.
yeah, it
I
was
think
it was after the
after.
match. I don't know whether it was the post-match conference or whether it was just the post-match thoughts of a manager. I just don't know whether it was. I know it was post-match. So he said that saving a goal, a goalkeeper has to protect his goal, and we have an excellent goalkeeper who does that. So that's a very interesting statement coming from, which also shows that Ten Hag is very proactive in adapting to the side and to mask the seeming deficiencies that De Gea has. But yesterday there were various instances where De Gea didn't look frazzled whenever he had the ball at his feet. I mean, there were times in the past 1 or 2 years that whenever we've tried to play out from the back and whenever De Gea has had the ball, we were either bracing ourselves for an opponent throw-in or a cheap turnover in possession. I mean, let's be honest, all 6 of us have some game or the other have always had this fear running at the back of our minds. But yesterday, David De Gea was very composed. Like Abhijit Bhai said, even though Lisandro Martinez and Harry Maguire were under the pump a little bit, but De Gea took his time. He assessed his options and then more often than not often delivered the correct forward pass. And by correct forward pass, I mean right into the feet of the player as well. So I think we have a goalkeeper situation pretty sorted for now on. All right. So now let's move on to the man of the moment, the birthday boy, the match winner, the centurion, and our very own Mank born and bred. So before that, let's take some chats. Rohit Bhai rightly says that DDG is improving under ETH. That's there for everyone to see. Mojo sir saying, but De Gea is not a modern goalkeeper. He needs to be moved on. Yes, one for the modern goalkeepers FC. This is a straight jibe. This is a sarcastic comment, by the way, Antariksh, just in case you didn't get it. uh,
Just one thing. Like in the context of a modern goalkeeper, like we always do that. He's not good with the ball. He's not good with the ball. He needs to build up. But as you said earlier, that the primary job of a goalkeeper is to save shots. And as like what when we don't have the ball? As
Yeah.
I remember the movie टोनी सिंह दे another goal. कुछ चंद मिनटों के लिए आपके पास बॉल आएगी तो आप उससे क्या करते हैं, वो ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है. तो जब वो बॉल नहीं है हमारे पास तो उसके लिए गोल स्टॉपर लाइक डेविड डागया फिट्स एवरी टीम ही वॉक्स इनटू. This criteria, I think David De Gea top, and I don't see him as a player. I see him as a United legend. So I think
Absolutely.
we always see legends as who has wins trophies with us in the past. But David De Gea was the one who kept us relevant from like post Sir Alex Ferguson's era. So I do see him as a legend, and as he's a good shot stopper, and that is the main job of a goalkeeper. So I think like David De Gea needs to be respected, and he is respected by all of the United fans. And I hope that like he can improve that quality we criticize him on under Ten Hag as well. So that's just
Vishal
I
Bhai,
wanted to add.
yeah, Vishal Bhai puts it very perfectly in his comment. DDG is not modern, but so is our team as well. So for now, David De Gea is as good as it gets, and I cannot,
Absolutely.
and it's as true, and it's as true a statement as it gets. So let's talk about Marcus Rashford, guys. I'll start with Sandeep. Sandeep bhai. Marcus Rashford yesterday was amazing. I mean, yes, he was the difference between the two sides. His goal was a proper centre forwards goal. That header, that thumping header. But you could see that even in the last game against Sheriff, he scored from a header. Heading is not something we usually characterize Marcus Rashford being proficient with. Uh, so this is another facet of his game that he's improved. And Ten Hag was asked whether there is potential for Marcus Rashford to be an elite forward. So Eric Ten Hag put it in the most beautiful way possible. He already is elite. The fact that he scored 100 goals at 25 years is testament to the fact. And now a lot of people will find this to be a rather unpopular statement because I for one know a lot of United fans who do not rate Rashford as a forward and who do not who I think Ojisbai is one of them. But yeah, there are not a lot of people who do rate Marcus Rashford as an out and out forward. They believe that his best position is coming out from the left, cutting inside, and then causing havoc to the defenders because that's what best he does. But are we seeing a slight re-emergence of Rashford as a striker? Because Rashford is slowly and steadily developing those, nitty-gritty habits of a striker, that is heading. Because this goal that he scored yesterday was a pure striker's finish. Because I think Jim Beglin pointed it out very nicely in his commentary that Marcus Rashford absolutely ate Tilo Kehrer alive when scoring that goal. Because Kehrer did absolutely not know that Rashford is coming from behind. He had no idea of the fact that Rashford is absolutely hungry for that goal. And I mean, the ball was such that Marcus Rashford was like, "No, I'm going in. I'm taking the shot. I'm just going in for it." So, Sandeep, what do you make of Rashford? What you think? Is Rashford still? Do you think Rashford will make it as a striker, or do you think that it's left wing for him?
So I think first of all, congratulations to the Mank born and bred. the fanboy from 8-7. Congratulations to him on achieving such a landmark. But one thing I would say that I too prefer Rashford from the left because I feel he has more room to work. Wha- when you're playing as a number 9, you have to do link ups and you have to play with your back to the goal. I think that is not Rashford's strength. It may be developed by ETH, but I think that's not his strength right now. I think right now ETH is making him serve a purpose because he has fell out of sorts. Maybe he has fell out of sorts with Ronaldo, or Ronaldo. He doesn't prefer Ronaldo as his best striker, and Martial is injured, and we do not have an out and out number 9. So maybe Rashford is temporarily filling in a job because we have Sancho on the left and Anthony on the right. Sancho was dropped yesterday because of his form, rightly so. And I feel with Ronaldo on the pitch, the defenders are more concerned with Ronaldo and what Ronaldo is doing. And that is where Rashford gets to exploit the space behind those defenders, uh, taking out the wing back or the right back towards the left and cutting it, because that is the place where Rashford is the deadliest. I was just seeing one of his highlights of England goals, and he scored from a like maybe a 10 or 15 angle kind of a thing, and he just shot it straight past the keeper, and the keeper had no chance to save it. I mean, from the left, Rashford is deadly. He's so good, and sometimes is unstoppable. I'm so happy that he spoke about his mental health in the last year and things were not going well. I think he has done a phenomenal job to come out of that, you know, the sad space he was in mentally, and to see him gain back his form. I mean, you have we can like you have a very good point of saying that maybe he's developing into the striker because headed goals by Rashford are not a common thing. But we have seen 2 in 2 right now against Sheriff and against West Ham. So it was a delicious cross by Ericsson. Man, come on, you've got to give the praise to Ericsson for that cross. He just looked up for 1 second and saw Rashford is coming around the back, and that cross was delicious. And Rashford knew that if he had contact, it would be a goal. So that was really a very nice piece of play, 1-2 between Bruno Eriksson and his cross into the box. So I think Rashford right now is filling a purpose, filling a role until and unless we get that right out and out number 9, and then Rashford and Sancho battle it out for the left wing position, and Anthony and maybe someone else, maybe Elanga, battle it out for the right wing position. Because I think competition is very important in the team, and no one should be comfortable in their position. So even I prefer Rashford from the left. I think he's more deadly from the left.
So Kushagra says that Rashford requested Ten Hag to play him as a number 9, and I think the the results are there for everyone to see. I think this was the 7th goal in all competitions for us in 15 games. So that's a goal every 2 games for us. Mojo sir says 100 goals in 300 something. Yeah, I think it's 310 or 318 games to be more precise. Yeah, but 300 something games. The return could have been a lot better, but his struggles came under Ole, who by playing him week in, week out when he was injured, just messed up 2 years of his. Yeah, that's something which I also had a bone to pick up with. I think there was a point in the 2021 season where Rashford was basically playing with one shoulder and one leg, and he still managed to score 21 goals. So I think that hampered his Euros, and then in retrospect, that hampered his entire 21-22 season as well. So even Rohit Bhai says that Rashti wants to play number 9 this season. Uh, and yeah, so Vishal puts a very interesting question, and I will take this because it's Martial, and there was and for me, I'm not sold on Martial. Should we sell Martial in the summer either because either he's out of form or he's injury or is injured every now and then? Now I'll be really honest, guys. Martial has sold us dreams ever since he made that debut against Liverpool. This season, every time he's come on, he's had an impact, either has scored or has assisted, and then has got injured. He comes in, he scores, he has dynamic movement, He runs the
Marshall is back
channels.
in training.
Yeah, as we speak, he's back in training. But do we know for how long is he going to be fit? That's the question. Because see, he's coming. He's given impactful performances. He runs the channels like a proper Ten Hag striker. Whenever he's come this season, he's shown that he means business. But then he's always had an injury that has put a setback, which means that even Ten Hag has not been able to play with a proper number nine, and he's had to make do with whatever he has. So I certainly feel that if he's not fit, then maybe sell him next year, and maybe that would be the best solution for both of us. And maybe use that money to get a proper quality striker, because I don't think Ronaldo is going to extend with us next year. That's around 20-25 million off the wage bill. And then counter the fact that if we get a buyer for Martial next year, that's another 10-15 million off the wage bill. So that's around 40-45 million.
The funny thing is that we have the option to extend Ronaldo contract.
I
He
don't think we're
doesn't.
going to. I don't think we're
Yes,
going
we
to.
have an option to extend his
Yeah,
contract. He
but
doesn't
I
even
don't
have that choice to leave or
exactly.
talk to someone in the January.
Yeah, but I
That's
don't think we're going to extend it. I think he's going. I
Nah,
think he's
I
going for
yeah,
all
I
love and all
this
money. Yeah.
whatever we guys are talking about Ronaldo, Rashford, Marshall, Anthony, Sancho. If we watch Ronaldo closely for past 10 years or any other striker, what I have a problem with Rashford is I am a little bit old school mentality with forwards. If you are a forward, your job is to convert. Okay, and if your conversion rates are poor, then however good dribbler you are, however good, player you are, either you should be one the assisting a person or you should be a scoring one. That is my mentality. I know the modern game has developed in such a way that impactful players are more crucial than sometimes those conversion rates. But trust me, guys, if City is sitting on the top or is going to sit on the top, because I don't believe in Arsenal at all, is because of those conversions. You got a proper number nine, you have to convert. If when Haaland is converting, others are converting. That's what happens with players who convert the goals. I saw it when Sir Alex retired. Van Persie was leading that season. Although that was a very poor season, but Van Persie was not missing on goals. Wayne Rooney doesn't miss goals that easily. Wayne Rooney used to convert his chances. This is what a forward is about. Rest, I think many will disagree with me also.
I just want to add one point in there. You said you just need to be consistent also to be in that forward. City are top in that league in the league because they are consistently performing in every aspect of their attacks. That is a real big factor. No doubt there they have a system, everything we know about Rashford. He is not. I think he has has a now right mindset. Right frame in mind of, and I just want to criticize because he's not consistent. He performs in one season, in next season he doesn't perform. He injures, get injured. So that consistency is the key for a forward, I would say.
More than that,
Yes.
I'd just sorry, Otis, bhai. You can go on. You can go on. All right. So more than that, I was just saying that Rashford for me, I think he was really a byproduct of bad coaching, of inconsistent, poor coaching, that poor management, poor injury management, poor management overall. I mean, he was a byproduct of that. Rashford to me always seemed like a player who had moments in him, who still has moments in him. I, for a matter of fact, don't actually care about Rashford's output that much than his overall game. What I'm really happy for him this season is he just looks better. Like on the left wing, all of us are saying that he's better on the left wing, but he's so wasteful on the left wing. I mean, like he just went in. They had three players on the left wing. He used to dribble, like try to take them all on. Like, who the hell are you, man? And he couldn't do a damn with it, with the ball. He used to get dribbled in his own feet. He used to fall over the ball. The ball used to go out and all of that. But the best thing about Rashford this season is he's clicking. He's pass and move. He's looking. He's passing. He's crossing for once. Like, there was a time we used to have Greenwood and Rashford. They used to cut in and shoot, cut in and shoot, cut. Like for once, it's so good to see that he looks up, like he puts his head up, and this is actually telling me that coaching is going in. Like he is a moments player. I remember I had a funny conversation with a friend 3 years ago, wherein Rashford was getting his peak numbers, but he was only getting numbers. Like as a player, as an overall player, he was being shit. Like the prime example of him being a numbers guy was, if you guys remember, the Wolves game, um, in which he scored in the 95th minute through a left-footed deflected shot. And there was a long ball, I guess, from
He even scored a hat trick, I guess, coming as a
Against
substitute.
Leipzig. Against
Leipzig.
Leipzig.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
Against
yeah.
Leipzig.
That
He
was one of
scored a
his
hat
most
trick. Yeah.
clinical performances. But what I was saying was that in terms of him being just a numbers guy, that Wolves game is a perfect example, because I guess he sort of had a record for losing the possession the most number of times a United player has ever lost since Opta started collecting data, and he got the man of the match because he scored the 95th minute winner. And that, to me, told what is the problem with him. Oli just relied on these moments play. Like he never took off Bruno Fernandes in his entire coaching career before the 91st minute, because he provided him moments. He gave him an assist anytime he wanted, out of the bag. So now I'm really happy that we are having a system wherein he is a player of the system rather than a player of moments. So that for me is improvement. He gives me only 12 goals this season. I'd be happy. But if he loses the ball at least 15, 20 times lesser on an average than he used to before. So that is the overall improvement of the team.
Now, my question remains the same to the panel, to everyone sitting here. You are Manchester United. You want to win trophies. You want to have best players in your club. If a forward is getting that many chances, personally for me, if I am the
You need
manager,
to
I'll
convert
be
them.
the
You need to convert them.
I
Absolutely.
will
Yes.
be the most frustrating person. I will be the most frustrated
Yes,
person on the bench.
totally. Because,
You
and I think there have been many instances that Tenag has been actually frustrated on the sidelines with the amount of chances that we have squandered as a side. Not alone, not Rashford alone, but even our other players. And not only Rashford, almost all the other players are equally guilty of missing golden chances. I think most glaring one out of these being Anthony against Chelsea, where he should have scored that, and it would have been an entirely different game altogether. For us, chance conversion has been a real issue this season, and I think it requires a proper out and out number nine. I don't think anything else will be a proper fix. The fact that we need a number nine, and we need a number nine fast, or else there's going to be a
Yes,
proper issue. It's
yesterday
going to
we
be a
had a
proper issue.
sorry to interrupt, but there were two chances also. As you said, there were two chances yesterday. I think at 20th minute when Casemiro, I think, intercepted a pass and he gave to Bruno, and Dalot was very near to the box, and he didn't pass him to that Dalot because he was free in space and he could have shooted it from long distance also. He could have taken the chance. Another chance was that when I think we were countering in 60th minute, I think Ronaldo pass. I think they were in a corner
Ronaldo
where, yeah, yes,
left
yes,
foot. He hit
huh,
out. He side
yes,
netting.
yes. Ilanga was straight away, past I think their left back, and he didn't even pass them. Literally stopped there. That really frustrated us. That why didn't he pass? You have taken a chance. Ilanga, you can here utilize that pace, and she could have taken the chance. But these things, small things, say of conversion, really frustrates the fans
the
and.
the problem is with lack of conversions, opposition gets confidence.
Huh.
Exactly, because
Opposition gets
yes,
confidence. What happened
Yes.
in West Ham, I was really surprised yesterday. West Ham were playing with two CBs only, two defenders only in the last 5 minutes. This was the confidence of West Ham. With Ronaldo and Rashford, they were so confident to play only two CBs. Why? Because they know United are panicking during the attack. That if we mess it up, we will somehow concede. You have to be continuous with the conversion. Otherwise, that Rice goal, that Zuma goal, anything can happen. Literally anything can happen on that end.
Also, Ronaldo dropping in the midfield is also a concerning factor. He literally stops that build up. Hampers sometimes. he should be, number 9. He should be contributing in the attacks. That is really, concerning. No doubt that he is, improving in as a team player, contributing everything in defense, his presence, everything. But dropping in the mid, really is concern. Even ETH has, raised that concern that he should not drop in the midfield.
All right. So now we come to a very critical part of this discussion, and it's the title for our discussion. That is, do we enter the World Cup break with top four? Now let's take a look at the fixtures of the teams who are above us. That is Newcastle and Chelsea. So I think Newcastle have. I think Munawar Bhai has put it in one of the comments above. Yeah. So Spurs have Liverpool and Leeds as their last two fixtures before going into the World Cup. Newcastle have Southampton and Chelsea, and we have Villa and Fulham. And Chelsea play Newcastle and Arsenal next. So I think out of all the four teams, we have the easiest game slate here. Aston Villa will just be under new management under Emery. And while Fulham are a potential banana skin opponent, I think we should be fancied to go past them. I think if we do not get 6 points from here, then it's going to be a big problem. That is what I feel. So I'm going to ask this to everyone. Saksham, I'll start with you. How confident do you think that we will be getting 6 points from this? And do you think that we will be in the top four spots before the World Cup break?
So I think that we have easier games, and we should and we must get those 6 points. They are there for the taking. We have great momentum going forward, and if I'm Ten Hag, I am like craving for those 6 points before the World Cup, because after the World Cup, you don't know about the injury situation, the form of the players, the mental state of the players. Something big could happen in the World Cup too. So before the World Cup, I want those 6 points. I want that top four spot. So that is there for the taking, and we have the easiest game out of the top four contenders. I don't think that Liverpool is a hard game for Spurs. Spurs are going to beat Liverpool, so taking a little piss on Liverpool here. But I think that we should definitely win those games. We have great momentum going forward. We don't have we have some injuries, but I think we would be able to defeat Fulham and Villa at least with like Maguire in the team and Ilanga in the team. And Anthony would come back, I hope, for these two games. He just had a knock. So I see us winning these points and going into the World Cup with a positive and fresh mindset that yes, United are on a roll. They are playing good, and they're on the top four there for the spot. So I hope we get those 6 points, and hoping for the best.
Yeah, another important point to mention that we will be playing the game against Aston Villa in the Premier League without Bruno, because Bruno got his fifth yellow yesterday
So
and he will be out for the game against Villa.
chance for
Five
dominance.
yellows. Five yellows means one suspension, 1 game suspension. So that makes it a little trickier. But then once again, Abhijit Bhai, what do you think? Is it 6 points, or is it 6 points and top four for us, or are you still a little bit on the fence?
No, I would say it is a easy fixtures for us, and we will get past them. Only concerning factor is that how much goal we win. We have to also see that we have scored less goals. If you see Newcastle, they have scored I think 25 or 26 goals in some games. So we at least have to pass that around 22 to 23 goals. You have to score more goals against Aston Villa. I would, their defense is little shaky. I would see opportunity to score. Fulham, against Fulham, I would say it will be some tricky, as you say, it will be a banana skin, definitely. They are unpredictable, but we can get the past and we can go in the top four position, and it will be a strong position for us to play in after the World Cup starts.
Like Antariksh said, top four is there for our taking, considering the fixtures of our rivals and their form trajectory. Now, while Aston Villa is on a downward spiral, yes, they had one positive result where they thrashed Brentford 4-0, but then once again reverted to type and they lost their recent game. I think it was against Newcastle only. I guess they lost 4 or 5. I think it's
Four,
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 right?
four, four,
Four.
four.
Yeah, they lost four. Yeah. So, Ojas, what do you think? I mean, at this point, do you think that we will have enough to get the better of Aston Villa and Fulham as well, because Fulham on the other side are playing some positive football. They are in the mid table where normally they would not you would not expect them to be. Marco Silva has them playing a particular way, and what do you think? Do we get 6 points from here on, and do we go into the World Cup break with the positive cushion of a top four and hopefully top spot in the Europa League as well? What do you think?
I think everyone will be disappointed if we don't get the 6 points.
Fair enough.
Yes,
Yes, absolutely.
it's like very tough to play that bad that you're not even winning against a team that don't have that much momentum that you have. Then it will have a negative impact on your I won't call it a title race, but at least a good position at the table in top four, top three. It will affect your mentality. You have to win these games, not for the sake of stat padding, but because of the momentum, because of the confidence, and also you have to realize that Saksham mentioned and everyone mentioned that injuries can be a factor in this World Cup because it is a different continent. I don't think any big competition has happened there. I don't think any player has played that big of a
Yeah,
competition,
this is the
that place.
first. Yes, yes.
So it is a new place. It's a not a new competition. It's just we are not aware of how it will affect the players. We are Asians. We understand the heat. We understand the weather around us. But for someone coming who has played all their life in Europe or even in South America, they will find it tough. And injuries can be a very big factor here. So for what will happen against Aston Villa is Emery will be ready as he has faced United so many times. Emery will be ready with a plan. He will be ready with something. In the Fulham game, I have a some sort of doubt with Mitrovic situation. How do we tackle the Mitrovic situation? Because that guy can score from header from anywhere, literally anywhere. That is the problem I think we are going to face. Otherwise, Fulham is somehow like we will be scoring many goals, or and Aston Villa will like Emery won't allow us to score goals, but I don't think he will avoid the defeat against us.
Sandeepa, what do you think? Because a lot of people are like Andreas Pereira will be playing against us. Uh, they have the preseason Perlo in midfield against us, so it is going to be a midfield battle again. And to everyone's surprise, and I was low key happy as well to see Andreas Pereira give such a good account of himself, especially in a system which suits his abilities. To be really honest, it gives him that creative freedom to do what he does best, that is roam around those channels, make those darting runs, and then his crossing and his delivery inside the box has also improved massively in his time at Fulham. So do you think that Andreas Pereira has the potential to harm his former employers when we face against him? When we face against him, or is it going to be those typical Pereira performances that he used to give us in a season, not pre-season, in the season?
So, 90th minute, Craven Cottage, screamer from Perlo, and we lose the game. That would be the worst, right? So, no, actually, so I think Fulham will be a tricky game, and as Ojas rightly pointed out, Mitrovic situation. I think there are two ways to handle Mitrovic. One is when he is like not on the head, like not like from crosses and all, Maguire should be there to handle him. And on the field, like when he has the ball, it should be Martinez who has to handle him. So I think it can be a two pronged approach that Maguire has to be the one who like presses down Mitrovic's aerial ability, and Martinez has to be on it because Mitrovic, Pereira may be the only two threats, because Pereira is kind of a switch on off kind of a thing. He might,
Sandeep
uh,
bhai, if Coutinho is not injured now, then we are facing two attacking midfielders in two continuous games that have a potential to change match from any minute.
so
We are
that's what
facing two attacking
exactly,
midfielders.
exactly, exactly. So that is the reason I was saying that from crosses, Maguire has to be on top form, and he has to be on it against Mitrovic and Aston Villa guys. One thing I would like to say, they have quality in their team. They may be on a bad run of form, and they may have a new manager, and the new manager, the new manager bounce, which Antrix pointed out, it can happen. It can happen that way, and it will be. I think it will be tricky, but I think we will get over it because Ten Hag has us playing us with self belief right now. We have that self belief, and we have that the trust in all of our defense and midfield that we will be able to. The cream will come to the top. The cream will rise to the top. So that is the way I think we will come out of these games. And yes, if we don't get these 6 points, every one of us would be very disappointed. But I think we will. It will be tricky, but I think we will come out of these two games with 6 points.
I think at the end of the day, the focus for us will be to win both those games and to win it with a very good margin. Because another thing that we are lacking behind is with our goal difference. Our goal
Goal
difference
difference.
is just +1, whereas the rest of the teams, I think, bar Chelsea, have a very high positive goal difference. So I think as important as winning those two games are, an equal emphasis will be on to win with a good margin and hopefully with a clean sheet as well. So we will need goals, and we will need. Oh yes, there are a lot of players who would play against us. Daniel James will be there, and Fulham. Then Aston Villa will have Ashley Young playing against us. Then Fulham also have Willian in their side, so there will be another threat that we will have to look forward to. But all in all, I'm pretty confident with our team. I'm confident the way that we are playing. I think we will get the results. I think we should be there on and above top four, provided we give a massive jolt to our goal difference by scoring more goals. I think that would be a very pleasant way to get into the World Cup. In a much more good state of mind. So I think we've covered everything that there is to cover. We spoke about everything that there is. We spoke about the game. We spoke about what happened yesterday. We spoke about the match winners of our side, and we also spoke about whether or not we will capitalize on this to make top four and as the World Cup approaches. So it's been amazing talking to all you gentlemen about what has transpired in the last 24 hours. Thanks to all the people in the chat who were interactive throughout the stream and kept on putting in their 2 cents about the issues as well. It was fun to talk about them and to address them all as separate points as well. And we would love that you keep on joining our streams whenever we have them, and keep on posing such questions so that it helps us to grow, and it helps us to get a much more balanced point of view compared to what we speak as well. Do like, share, and subscribe on our YouTube channel. We will be constantly coming up with content every day, and we have much more lined up ahead. It's going to be an exciting next couple of weeks for us until the World Cup starts, and even then, during the World Cup, we will have a lot of things to talk on and a lot of things to speak about. So this will not stop. Do show us some love on our Instagram and our Twitter page as well. We are always active there as well. Do not miss a chance to join our WhatsApp group. We are 24/7 active there, and every day is match day on our WhatsApp group, like I always say. And yes, guys, thank you so much for showing us love every single time we come in. And it is at the end of the day, this content is all for our viewers and our supporters. So keep supporting us, keep showing us love. And till next time, this is Delvin along with Sandeep, Saksham, Abhijit, and Ojas saying goodbye. Until next time, and do take care of yourself. Thank you so much to all you guys for joining as well. See you very soon. Goodbye and take care. GGM, you guys.
GGM.
GG, bye.